What about these subsidies and the government shutdown? So the fight is about enhanced tax credits or enhanced subsidies, not all subsidies. So when the ACA first passed, the government deemed 9.5% of your income paying health insurance was considered affordable. Okay. And what happened was in 2021 with COVID and so forth, we started receiving, as a population, enhanced tax credits. So if you were on a marketplace plan and you were paying 9.5% of your household income, that then dropped down to most people were paying roughly 6.5% of their income. What else that did was it allowed people who weren't qualifying for tax credits before to start qualifying for tax credits. And so more people got on their health insurance through the marketplace. And so that's what this fight is really all about, is the enhanced tax credits that started in 2021. And so those enhanced tax credits were not set to be a permanent fixture. Those were only supposed to be a temporary fix through the pandemic. So now more people are on those subsidized plan, and now we have a problem. And so the problem really is a double-edged sword. The solution isn't any easier. And so I'm glad I'm not the one making the decisions, frankly. So it is the enhanced tax credits that are on the chopping block, not all tax credits. So on one hand, you've got 13 million people or so who have coverage now that didn't have coverage before the enhanced tax credits. And so that more than doubled the number of people who were on marketplace plans receiving tax credits. Before, it was about 11.4 million people utilizing those subsidies. So now we have 24 million people who are going to be affected. That's about 8% of the population are going to be affected by whatever happens with regard to this government shutdown situation regarding the tax credits. So on one hand, you've got 8% of the populations that will be affected in a negative way, meaning they're going to either have to start paying more or they're going to drop their coverage completely. On the other hand, you've got all the other taxpayers who are getting coverage through their employer or Medicaid, or who are paying the full freight for their health insurance. And these folks are not affected by this, other than the fact that we're all paying taxes that end up paying for these subsidies, whether they're the enhanced subsidies or not. And so this is why this is such a heated debate. So the concern is the number of people who will drop coverage that are younger and healthier. And this will start affecting the risk pool, which means that there'll be fewer people covered, and most of them will probably be either older and or have health conditions who will pay the extra to keep their health insurance because they have health concerns, or they're older and they're concerned that that could happen to them. So we all see this from our own perspective, and that is why this is so hard to come to an agreement, because on the one hand, you have the person who is saying, look, I can't afford any more. I can't pay any more than I'm paying now for my health insurance. If it goes up, I'm going to have to drop it. And then you have the other people who are saying, listen, I don't get a tax credit and I'm tired of paying extra for the enhanced tax credits. And so, in the form of taxes. So, how do we resolve this? So we all see this from our own perspective. And that is why this is so hard to come to an agreement. Washington definitely has some hard decisions to make, but it's not like we didn't know this was coming. We've known this was coming for some time. The enhanced tax credits got extended before. They could extend them again. They may not. It sounds like it is going to be a very hard fought battle. So I hope this makes more sense of what is happening and why people are so passionate about their side. The fear of losing health insurance or having to pay more, and they don't have the money to do that in their budget. They definitely want the tax credits to continue. I can definitely understand that. Then you have the other side of the coin where it's people who are saying, look, I can't afford any more in taxes to pay for your health insurance. So those are really the two fights that are happening. And so I hope this makes a little bit more sense for you, and why this is such a heated debate, and why you should care whichever side of the fence you're on.